They tried to dim your light with whispers, sabotage, and silent schemes. But look around. Chosen one, you're still rising. While they plot in shadows, you elevate in silence. They underestimated you, thinking you'd break under pressure. But every time they threw dirt, you built a throne from it. What they don't realize is that the more they try to block your path, the more the universe clears the road just for you. Their obsession with seeing you fail has only made your success louder. And now, their own envy is suffocating them. You weren't made to blend in, you were wired to disrupt. That's why they talk, stalk, mimic, and mock. But deep down, they fear the very power you carry, the kind that can't be faked, bought, or silenced. The power of being chosen. That energy haunts them. It exposes what they lack. Your silence screams louder than their noise. Your calm presence unsettles every demon they've sent your way. The irony? Every attack they launched became fuel for your transformation. So if you're here right now, it's not by accident. You've been guided to this moment because you're stepping into a new realm of clarity, power, and success, and they can't stop it. You're not just surviving their wickedness, you're thriving in spite of it. Chosen one, stay focused. The war was spiritual, but you won it with discipline, elevation, and strategy. And that's what makes you untouchable. Now, before we dive deeper into what's about to shift in your life, take a moment. If you feel this message was made for you, like and subscribe right now. Not because I said so, but because it's time the world knew your rise isn't luck. It's earned, it's written, and they're not ready for what's coming next. Before moving ahead, I want to pause and thank every one of you who has supported this mission through super thanks. Your generosity is more than a gesture. It's a divine echo that you're not just watching, you're spiritually aligned with this movement. It tells me your heart recognizes the weight of this message, and your light is helping push back the darkness that others tried to trap us in. Because of you, this truth continues to reach the ones who were silenced, underestimated, and written off until now. If something inside you resonates deeply, if you feel the fire of this calling burning within, comment 999 below. Not out of pressure, but as a quiet declaration that you're aligned with your path, that you're not folding under their wickedness, and that you're rising exactly as you were meant to. Number 1. Stop entertaining surface-level love. Wait for the one that shakes your soul and aligns with your calling. Are you truly prepared for the kind of love that doesn't just touch your heart, but completely rewrites your entire story? If so, stay with me, because what's coming isn't soft or ordinary. It's a love that flips the script, silences your doubters, and stirs the deepest parts of your soul back to life. It's not the fairy tale kind they sell in stories. This is the type of love forged through fire, the kind only the chosen can carry. Chosen one, you already know nothing about your life has been easy. So why would love show up any different? Your path wasn't designed for average. It was tailored for elevation. But here's the truth that nobody tells you. Real love, the kind that aligns with your calling, doesn't come until you've faced the war inside yourself. You've carried heavy standards, not out of arrogance, but out of survival. You've held your heart back because too many times your depth was mistaken for intensity, your vision for stubbornness. And let's be honest, your standards intimidate the average. You walk with purpose, with precision, and with power. People admire you from a distance. Why? Because standing close to someone who refuses to water themselves down exposes how much they've settled. The same qualities that make you magnetic, your vision, your resilience, your demand for truth, are the very things that can make you feel isolated. And it's not because something is wrong with you. It's because you're not designed for surface-level connections. You're built for something real, something rare, and when the rare enters your life, it won't shrink from your fire, it will match it. Think about it. How many times have you been told you're too much for someone? Too driven, too intense, too independent. But the truth is, they were too small to hold your vision, too limited to understand the blueprint stamped on your soul. Their discomfort with your greatness was never your burden to carry. You see, when you operate with purpose, it creates pressure, and pressure breaks the weak, but it sharpens the chosen. That's why so many couldn't stay. Your energy was a mirror. It showed them what they weren't ready to see about themselves, and so they ran. They blamed you. They called you cold, guarded, or complicated. But deep down, they just weren't ready for a love that asked them to rise higher. So when this next love enters your life, and it will, don't be surprised when it doesn't flinch at your strength. Don't question it when it holds your standards without complaint. This one won't come to compete with your power, it will come to protect it. And together, you'll build something the world has never seen. Stay ready, chosen one. Because what's coming isn't just love, it's alignment, and it's going to shift your entire reality. Number 2. Don't let high standards turn into isolation. Use them as a filter, not a fortress. They told you your standards were too high, like your refusal to settle was a flaw. But chosen one, you were never meant to be average. So why entertain average connections? Your standards are not a problem, they're a protection. But here's the warning: don't let your standards become walls so tall they block out the very blessings you've been preparing for. You didn't raise your expectations out of pride. You raised them out of pain. You built your standards because you've already tasted betrayal, already given your heart to people who weren't ready to hold it. And now, you're guarded. You screen every connection like a security check at the gates of your destiny, and that's wise. But be careful not to confuse filtering with fortressing. There's a difference between being selective and being emotionally unavailable. The chosen ones often fall into that trap. We convince ourselves it's better to walk alone than risk being misunderstood again. But isolation, when it's rooted in fear, doesn't protect you. It starves you. Starves your spirit of connection, your heart of companionship. Your standards are sacred, yes. But remember, they're not there to punish. They're there to protect. Use them like a compass, not a cage. Let them draw in the aligned, not push away the sincere. Because the right one will rise to meet your energy, not shrink beneath it. Chosen one, don't dim your light, but don't hide it behind walls so thick that love can't find its way in. The one meant for you won't flinch at your power. They'll respect it. They won't bypass your standards. They'll honor them. Keep filtering, but don't forget to feel. Your discernment is divine, but your heart deserves connection too. Number 3. Quit settling for love that distracts. Real love will fuel your purpose, not fight it. Chosen one, distractions don't always come in the form of chaos. They often come dressed in comfort, in affection that seems sweet at first, but slowly begins to pull your focus, drain your drive, and dilute your mission. Have you ever noticed how some relationships feel good in the beginning, but over time you start shrinking? Your fire dims, your ambition quiets, your purpose starts to feel like a burden, not a calling. That's not love. That's sabotage wrapped in softness. You were never meant to compromise your purpose just to feel less alone. You weren't sent here to babysit someone's insecurities or downplay your strength so they can feel big next to you. Every time you silence your voice to keep the peace, you betray the very fire that makes you chosen. Real love doesn't compete with your mission. It champions it. It sees the light in you and says, "I'll help you protect it." It doesn't get jealous of your calling. It finds its place beside it. This is your reminder. Love should be the wind behind your wings, not the chain around your ankle. So stop settling for love that distracts. You deserve a bond that makes your purpose feel lighter, not heavier. One that sharpens you, grounds you, and helps you fly. You didn't come this far to be derailed by someone who doesn't understand what it costs to carry this calling. This next chapter, it's about alignment over attachment. And the right one won't fear your power. They'll help you aim it. Number 4. Stop guarding your heart out of fear. Protect it with discernment, not barbed wire. Chosen one, your heart wasn't meant to be a fortress of fear. And yet, after everything you've been through, after all the betrayals, the letdowns, the ones who said they loved you but only came to take, you built walls. Thick, high, impossible to scale walls. But here's the truth they don't tell you. What was meant to keep pain out can also keep healing from getting in. Your heart is sacred. It holds power, purpose, and fire. But guarding it with barbed wire won't protect it. It will just isolate you. Fear taught you to shut doors before anyone even knocks. Fear whispered that love was dangerous, that vulnerability was weakness, that closeness meant risk. But discernment, that's the real shield. That's the chosen one's weapon. Discernment doesn't say, "I'll never let anyone in." It says, "I'll let in only those who see me clearly and respect what they find." It doesn't cut people off in panic. It filters them through wisdom. And chosen one, you've earned that wisdom. The people who couldn't handle your love weren't proof that your heart is too much. They were proof that not everyone is qualified for the level of love you carry. Stop dimming your light or locking your emotions away. Use discernment, not trauma, to guide your boundaries. You don't have to love blindly, but you do have to love bravely. Because the love that's meant for you, it won't hurt. It will recognize your depth and meet it with its own. But it can only find you if you drop the armor and pick up truth. You're not too much. You're rare. So start protecting your heart like it's rare, not with fear, but with strength, clarity, and unshakable knowing. Number 5. Don't chase perfection. Embrace the power of showing up flawed but faithful. Chosen one, you've been conditioned to believe that you must be flawless to be worthy of love, respect, or even belonging. But here's the truth most people are too afraid to say. Perfection is a trap. It's a weight around your neck, dressed up to look like ambition. And for the chosen ones, it can be a silent killer of joy. You've spent nights replaying conversations in your head, wondering if you said the right thing. You've edited your emotions, filtered your truth, and dressed your wounds in silence, just to appear strong. But strength isn't found in flawless execution. It's in the courage to show up fully, even when you're bleeding inside. You were never called to be perfect. You were called to be real. And that calling, it requires faith, not flawlessness. The truth is, people don't bond over perfection. They bond over vulnerability. They connect through cracks, not polished masks. And the right ones, those aligned with your path, will never ask you to hide the very things that make you human. So stop scrubbing your spirit raw, trying to earn worthiness. You already are. Your flaws don't cancel your favor. In fact, they make your light more powerful because you still chose to rise in spite of them. Show up, shaking, healing, imperfect, but whole in your intention. That is what makes you chosen. Not the image, not the polish, but the raw, relentless faith that says, even with all this pain, I still believe I'm meant for more. Chosen one, your power was never in being perfect. It's in being unbreakable in your faith. even when everything else feels undone. Number 6. Drop the illusion of flawless romance. Let growth and grace be your foundation. Chosen one, it's time to stop chasing the fantasy of flawless love. That polished version of romance you've been taught to expect, it doesn't exist, and deep down, you already know it. You're not looking for a highlight reel. You're searching for something real, something that can weather storms, not just bask in sunshine. You crave a connection that grows roots beneath the surface, not a spark that dies the moment reality steps in. The truth is, you've been conditioned to believe that the perfect partner will just know how to love you without effort. That love should be easy if it's meant to be. But for someone chosen like you, whose soul carries purpose, fire, and layers most people can't comprehend, love will always be a journey, not a polished performance. Perfection is not your goal. Alignment is. Grace is your foundation. Growth is your path. You need someone who doesn't just admire your strength, but understands the wounds behind it. Someone who doesn't flinch when you speak your truth. Someone who stays, not because it's perfect, but because it's worth it. Let go of the fairy tale. Embrace the sacred mess. Real love involves work, forgiveness, and transformation. But when it's right, when it's aligned, it won't weaken you. It will refine you. Your love isn't fragile, chosen one. It's fierce, raw, and rooted in purpose. Stop waiting for flawless. Start preparing for real. The kind of love that grows through imperfection is the kind that lasts beyond lifetimes. You don't need perfect, you need true. And what's true is on its way. Only when you stop demanding flawlessness and start allowing authenticity. That's when love finally becomes what it was always meant to be: a mirror, a mission, and a miracle in motion. Number 7. Quit making purpose an excuse to neglect love. Balance is what keeps you whole. Chosen one, let's be real. How many times have you buried your heart beneath the weight of your mission? You told yourself love could wait, that you'd pour into it after the breakthrough, after the calling was fulfilled. But here's the hard truth. Ignoring love in the name of purpose doesn't make you stronger. It makes you hollow. Your purpose was never meant to consume every drop of your soul. It was meant to fuel it. And yet somewhere along the way, you convinced yourself that intimacy was a distraction. You traded warmth for structure. You replaced connection with strategy. And now, your mission is growing, but your heart feels emptier than ever. You weren't created to walk this journey emotionally starved. The people who told you to pick one, purpose or love, lied. The truth is, you're meant to have both, but it takes courage to admit that. Because chosen ones like you don't want to appear needy. You've mastered the art of carrying the world alone, but even the strongest vessels crack without care. Balance is not weakness, it's wisdom. The kind of love you need won't take you off your path. It will stabilize it. The right partner won't ask you to choose between your fire and your feelings. They'll fuel both. So stop hiding behind your mission like it's armor. You don't have to bleed in silence to prove you're worthy. Make space. Let someone in. Because wholeness isn't found in isolation. It's found in divine alignment. When purpose and love walk hand in hand, that's when you're truly unstoppable. Number 8. Don't let energy vampires stay. Cut ties with what drains you before it derails you. Chosen one, there's a silent war going on around you, and sometimes the real threat isn't loud or obvious. It's quiet. It smiles in your face. It praises your light while secretly feeding off of it. You know the type, those who cling to your energy but offer nothing in return. They're drawn to your strength, but they never match it. These are the energy vampires. And if you're not careful, they'll drain you dry while calling it love. Have you ever noticed how you leave certain conversations feeling empty? How your mood shifts after being around specific people? That's no coincidence. That's your intuition screaming. You weren't built to carry everyone. Your spirit isn't a public power source for the unhealed, the ungrateful, or the opportunistic. But because your heart is generous, you keep giving, and they keep taking. Chosen one, your compassion is sacred, but without boundaries, it becomes your downfall. These people won't leave on their own. They'll cling to you until there's nothing left of you but exhaustion and confusion. You'll start doubting your path, questioning your worth, second-guessing your mission, all because you let the wrong ones linger too long. It's time to cut ties, not out of hate, but out of protection, out of preservation. You can't elevate if you're constantly pouring into black holes. You weren't chosen to be a dumping ground for broken promises and fake loyalty. The moment you distance yourself from what drains you, you'll feel the shift. Your peace will return, your vision will sharpen, and your energy, it will rise like fire. This is your wake-up call. Protect your light. Guard your energy like your future depends on it, because it does. They can't drain what they no longer have access to. Number 9. Stop equating strength with emotional distance. True independence includes connection. Stop equating strength with emotional distance, because real independence doesn't mean isolation. My dear chosen one, you've built a fortress so solid that not even love can get through. And while the world may applaud your ability to carry it all alone, deep down you know, this silence is heavy. You've mastered the art of resilience. You've learned to depend on no one, to fix, to lead, to endure, on your own. And yes, that power is sacred. But here's the trap. In equating solitude with strength, you've unintentionally closed the door on the very connection that could elevate you even higher. Chosen ones often confuse emotional self-sufficiency with protection. But independence doesn't mean building walls so high that no one can climb them. It means knowing you can stand alone, but being wise enough to let someone stand beside you. People might think you don't need anyone, and you've let them believe that, haven't you? But deep down, there's a longing for connection that doesn't diminish your power. It amplifies it. The right partnership won't weaken your independence. It will honor it. Not with control, but with presence. Not with noise, but with understanding. It's time to rewrite the story. Real strength is being brave enough to open up. True independence includes the courage to say, I don't want to do this alone anymore. So stop wearing emotional distance like armor. You're not here to prove anything. You're here to experience everything, fully, deeply, and without apology. Because even the strongest need someone who gets it. Someone who doesn't try to save you, but walks with you. That's not weakness, chosen one. That's evolution. Number 10. Never settle just to silence loneliness. Your standards are your spiritual armor. Chosen one, the loneliness you're feeling is not a punishment, it's preparation. Don't mistake the silence as a sign you're forgotten. It's a divine filter, clearing out what doesn't belong, so only the real ones can enter. That ache in your chest. It's not a void to be filled with just anyone. It's a sacred space reserved for someone who truly understands your worth. They'll try to convince you that your standards are too much, that love requires compromise. But you and I both know that's how they trick the chosen into settling for cages made of comfort. Your standards? They're not walls, they're armor. They're not stopping love. They're protecting your spirit from attachments that would derail your destiny. Loneliness whispers that maybe you're asking for too much. But here's the truth. You're not asking for too much. You're asking the wrong ones. The right one will be drawn to your boundaries, not offended by them. They'll see your discernment as depth, not difficulty. Let them call you picky. Let them say you're hard to please. That's the cost of not letting counterfeit love contaminate your calling. The real thing will rise to meet you. Until then, stay grounded. You're not alone. You're just being kept apart. Number 11. Don't let old wounds write your future. Heal first, then watch love flow freely. The pain of your past was real, but it is not your identity. Chosen one, you've been through things that would have crushed the average soul. You've survived betrayals that still echo in your heart, and disappointments that left invisible scars. But here's the truth, no one tells you. Unhealed wounds don't just stay quiet, they speak. And if you're not careful, they start writing your future with the ink of your past. Every time you hesitate to open your heart, every time you push away something good because you're scared it'll turn into something painful, you're letting the ghost of yesterday guide the pen of today. But chosen one, you're not a prisoner of what hurt you. You're the architect of what comes next. And healing isn't a sign of weakness, it's your greatest act of power. Real love, transformational love, can't enter through a door that's blocked by fear. If you want a connection that flows, that uplifts, that honors your spirit, you have to make peace with the version of you that had to survive. That version was brave. But the version who thrives, the one who lets love in without flinching, that version is unstoppable. So take time to heal, not just to feel better, but to remember your worth. Because when you're healed, your love becomes pure, powerful, and undistorted. You stop attracting what mirrors your pain and start drawing in what honors your light. Your future is too important to be shaped by old wounds. Clean the slate, heal deeply, and watch how love doesn't just visit, it stays. You're no longer defined by what hurt you. You are now defined by what you choose to become. And the love you're about to receive, it will feel like freedom. Number 12. Avoid chasing chemistry without calling. Sacred partnerships are rooted in shared purpose. Chosen one, chemistry will fool you. Sparks can fly with someone who was never meant to stay. That magnetic pull, that adrenaline rush. It's not always confirmation, it's often distraction. Chemistry without calling is how many chosen ones waste years on connections that only pull them further from their purpose. You don't just need someone who makes your heart race. You need someone who understands why your heart beats the way it does. As a chosen one, your calling isn't ordinary, so neither should your connection be. Surface-level attraction fades, but a bond built on divine alignment, shared purpose, and spiritual resonance, that will last through the storms and shape destinies. Have you ever been with someone who lit a fire in you, but dimmed your light in the process? That's what happens when passion isn't paired with purpose. They'll admire your drive until it threatens their comfort. They'll crave your energy until it exposes their stagnancy. You weren't made to entertain partners who don't know how to carry sacred weight. You were made to build legacies. So stop chasing butterflies and start asking deeper questions. Do they feed your purpose? Do they see your calling as something sacred or just convenient? Can they walk beside you without dragging your spirit? True love for the chosen one isn't just about romance, it's about assignment. When chemistry is aligned with calling, that's when love becomes unstoppable. That's when it turns from emotion into elevation. Don't settle for sparks that burn out. Wait for the fire that builds altars. As we close this chapter, remember this truth. Chosen one, surface-level sparks can never sustain the weight of a sacred calling. Real love doesn't just excite you, it aligns you. When you stop chasing temporary feelings and start seeking purpose-driven connection, everything changes. You weren't made for chaos. You were made for covenant. If this message stirred something deep in your spirit, if you feel seen, understood, and empowered, take a moment to support this journey. Like this video, subscribe to the channel, and drop 999 in the comments to affirm your alignment. Your voice matters, and your calling is sacred.